Hi, dear parents. When I ask you, what does self care mean to you? What does emotional well being mean to you? What comes to your mind? It is somewhere like indulgent spas, long retreats, or maybe vacations. But that's not true always, especially for busy moms. Hi, I'm Dr. Arpita, and I am a mother of two happy young kids, and also I balance my work and family beautifully. Today, I'm going to share some tips on how to maintain your emotional wellness and also be energetic and replenish your stores quickly, effectively, and with very simple ways. So let us first understand why is it so important for mothers to prioritize self-care. Well, parenthood is demanding. Is that true? Of course, parenthood is very demanding. And that too with added responsibilities of work, house chores, and a zillion other things, you tend to neglect yourself completely. It often leads to stress, burnout. So many of my patients who are young mothers are chronically complaining of fatigue, tiredness, they don't sleep well, they don't eat well, or they just are having low mood constantly. Sometimes people even complain of depression. So, if these issues are so common, then definitely working on your self care can help avoid these physical ailments. Plus, it also has an added advantage because your kids can model when they see you prioritize self care, you are inculcating self respect, the boundary, the balance, and the beauty of that in your kids. I'll share a few examples of how prioritizing my own self-care it made a huge difference in my life. When my second baby was born and he was only 3 months old, I wanted to learn Kathak. And I noticed that I was constantly more irritable. I was not able to catch up on my sleep, that was a given, but I still felt very burnt out. And I always wanted to learn Kathak since childhood. But when it comes to your kid and your own hobbies, you always choose kids first. And I always had that nagging feeling in my mind and felt guilty that what if my kid needs me and I'm putting my needs over above his. But then finally I decided, okay, let me prioritize myself. Let me give that 1 hour to myself. So I hired a help who could look after the baby, even though when he was breastfeeding, and I joined in Kathak class online from the comfort of my home. And the moment I started doing that, I felt my stress melt away. I started sleeping well, my irritability was gone because that dedicated time was my time where I did what I loved. And I also felt that I was more present and more happier when interacting with my kids. My husband is a doctor and was constantly overworked. He was working more number of hours to constantly provide for the increasing family needs. But in the process, he found himself overly fatigued, very tired, and absolute lack of energy. When he noticed this pattern over a few days, he decided, I need to take action. He decided a simple step, like 20 minutes he loves jogging, so 20 minutes of jogging for himself. That only increased his energy level. He found himself more productive at work, and when he would come back home, he was less tired and had more energy available to play with kids. Exactly what young kids are looking for from their father. So let me share few of simple exercises that can be done in short bursts of time and will be extremely helpful for you to maintain your balance and energy. So number 1, mindfulness exercise. So let's take a scenario, a hypothetical name. Say there was a girl named Mamta. She was overwhelmed by the busy schedule of things at her office. So she was a working parent, and whenever she came back home, she felt so overwhelmed and stressed out that she couldn't actually be present fully and happily with her kids. So she decided to take 5 minutes of time for doing this meditation practices. So it's very simple. During lunch hour, she set a time at her office for 5 minutes. She would sit in a quiet, calm place, just close her eyes and take deep, long breaths. A deep inhale and an exhale. She focused all her attention on her breathing. And whenever some thoughts or emotions arise, she would just observe them, acknowledge them, and concentrate back on her breath. By just repeating it a few times, 10 to 15 times, she would feel instantly calmer, more centered, and ready to tackle the rest of the day. Not only that, Mamta also did this exercise when she came back home. While she was driving and she reached home, she parked her vehicle in the parking slot. She would sit inside her car, take another 5 minutes to do the centering meditation. Just deep breaths, inhale and exhale. And she felt more refreshed and ready to take on her kids and house responsibilities. So second, quick exercise is a quick workout. Now you would say, I don't have the time for workout. I can barely manage my kids and my office. Well, let's take another hypothetical example of a boy named Rahul. He had a 3-year-old son. He was extremely fatigued even when he got up in the mornings. He found himself to be very sluggish, and his work also was quite sedentary. So he decided, let me put in just 15 minutes for myself in the morning. He used to wake up at 7 a.m. Instead of that, he started waking up at 6:45. The moment he would get out of bed, he'll put on his shoes and immediately go for a quick jogging. He came back at 7 a.m. and by the time he came back, his kids will be woken up. He felt refreshed. It released serotonin, dopamine, the hormones which are responsible for making you happy, more energetic, and he felt that energy transmitted to his kids. Not only that, he improved a lot in his family dynamics. He started playing with his kids more. Tip number 3, you can indulge in your favorite hobby. Let's take another scenario. A girl named Sunita. So she had 2 kids, and of it, she was not a working mother. She was a stay-at-home mother, but still the responsibilities of the house and constantly being at home caused her overwhelming emotions and stress. So she loved painting, but she never found time for pursuing her creativity. So she decided to give it some time. So once a week, she set aside a time for pursuing her hobby. That night, she would put the kids to bed earlier and she would inform everybody in the house that today is my painting day. She would make a painting corner in the house with all her art supplies ready. For 30 minutes, uninterrupted, she would draw whatever comes to her mind using the creative process dynamics. And she felt absolutely immersed in the process and totally unwinded. She looked forward to that day, and not only that, it helped her boost confidence. Similarly, there are ample examples that you can do to take care of your own self. You could do gardening, crochet, cooking, jogging, walking, whatever it is that you love, because ideas are worthless until you act on them. So please don't wait for any special muhurat. Take that baby step, take that first step towards doing what you really love. Not only it will help you boost your own energies and your own stamina, but will also help your kids to model the same in their lives. If you like this, please comment below what activity have you chosen for yourself, and also share with parents who need to hear this. Thank you.